Whoa. Hey, everybody. I don't know how much you can hear in the background. Y'all can let me know if that's too loud. My wife is painting the bathroom, and she's rocking out listening to this oldie station. Hopefully we don't get flagged. But it's not that loud. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm doing a speed test over here. We only got two on the upload, or on the download rather. The upload's fine, so it shouldn't disrupt the stream, but like, hopefully we don't have, the upload affects what happens on the stream. So it's, and we're supposed to get 180. So this could be kind of perilous. We can see. I maybe should have reset it beforehand, but my wife is streaming music in the other room, but that shouldn't take up 170 megabytes. So we'll see how it goes. I might have to reset it in a little bit. If I do, I'm sorry. I just kind of came back down. I was busy all day, and then I ended up not getting enough sleep. Slept a little bit, came in. I'm still just going to ban Yi. I know it's like dumb, but I just don't want to deal with that champion. I don't trust my teammates to draft any CC to deal with him, so. And he's just one of the most obnoxious champions. Like, if you get to late game, you just don't have CC. He's just so hard to deal with, so. How much can y'all hear that music in there? Do I need to have her turn that down or what? I don't mind listening to it, but... Hey, what's up, Pauls? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Give me that Ezreal action. I love it. Better be good, man. I don't know, like... Irelia actually seems like she's doing pretty well. I've seen a couple of like really good Irelias. Well, hopefully I don't get flagged for it. Like, it's so loud that Google might flag it. She wants to drown me out, I believe is the thing. Pike. Might try a recon game here. Could have done something with big health. Bigger health. Could have done like a Thresh or... Oh, it's like a Victor 80 carry. Or it's Pantheon. Or GP. I'm not sure. I guess I'm just gonna get like one of each because I'm not sure what we're playing against down here. It's probably Victor bottom. What is that garbage? It's like, there's no way that's an oldies song. I thought that was some kind of contemporary music. I was like, what? Why Galio is so meta? I don't think he is. I haven't seen him. I don't know. Hey, cool, Halls. I'm glad you're having a good weekend, man. I mean, I don't think he's that great right now. Galio's support. I mean, if you've seen him a lot, it's probably just a coincidence, as far as I can tell. Okay, it's Victor Bottom. That's the one that like gets played sometimes in like pro play. Trying to sneak in something other than Nami every now and then. This is one that looked like an armor champ. Could be good. Could have also done something like Nautilus if I wanted to.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I miss
Oh crap, I didn't pull the chat out.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I thought about trying to make a play on them. Holy fuck, are you kidding me right now?
First blood.
Okay.
Minions have spawned.
Ain't nothing I say should be taken seriously. That's why it's the truth.
Alright, well, so much for that. Like, I knew they were still there, but, like, my team was gathered here. I thought we were going to collapse on them and catch them out. No, I guess not. Damn it, I don't have the, Sorry, I'll have to open the chat here in a second. I forgot to pop it out into the secondary there.
If it don't get out of control, it ain't a party.
Funny.
Name one genius that ain't crazy.
Honey, why are there
They
so many
want us
stalkers in the
cages.
80s?
We refuse.
Said, why are there so many stalkers in the 80s? Stalkers. Yeah. All three songs are like, I don't know. You get you arrested these days, like that. This one's that. Hey, don't you want me? That's this song, and then there's another one that's like the. I can't remember. There's so many songs that are kind of like that from the 80s. They're pretty funny.
What you looking at?
Victor with Aerie is interesting. I feel like should have either gone Klepto or like Comet or something. I don't know. Aerie just seems really weak on a champion that doesn't have a shield. I mean, he does have a shield for himself, but Aerie doesn't. That doesn't work with Aerie. Shield for other people, like an Orianna or something. I guess if it's like a really long fight, you can trigger it like multiple ways.
An enemy has been slain.
You animals are dumb!
Shut down.
You know, if they're gonna make Rakan's, they want to make his ult more worthless, they should buff his mana cost. Like maybe his Q cooldown. Give him like more of a lane. They're adamant about not like reverting some aspect of this kit.
Hey!
Ally has been slain.
I still like the idea of the W hitting instantly without a delay. Or like the longer the distance is, the less time there is, the less delay there is for the knockup. So if it's like point blank, still keep it 0.35. But if you do a max distance W, it should knock up instantly without the delay. That's the best way to nerf like his ult plus W interaction without nerfing his normal W.
That's a good place. Oh. Yeah.
Only down a little bit. So that's alright. Sorry, I'll bring the comments back up when I'm walking back from base next time. Ooh, the double... That's real rough when you don't even have enough for a tier on your first attack. I think Pike left. Okay, yeah, he left. He's gonna stop him, probably. I need to stay so we don't lose experience. Ezreal should be fine farming by himself. Okay, mid's pushed back, so they're probably not going to get roamed on. Shit, I accidentally pressed something. They got dragon. Well, we're gonna get Rift, probably. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I forgot about that for some reason. Is tier a gold efficient item? No, not at all. It is once you completely stack it out and turn it into archangels, yes. But it takes like at least 10 minutes for that of spell spamming. But that's why you don't see it on most champions. It's only champions that have really cheap spammable spells that have special interactions with mana. Who need like a lot of mana, who can spam a lot of spells, you know. Yeah, the thing is, like, most people don't need that much mana. Like, if you're going tier, you need a lot of mana. Most people, because, like, most enchanter supports, you're going to get a lot of mana regen. Like, Athene's plus Redemption plus Frostfang is 300% mana regen. That's going to be, like, around 15 mana per second. Somewhere between 12 to 15 mana per second in the mid-game. And you don't have to go out of your way for those items because they're already really good. The thing is, if you get tier, like, you're going very far out of your way to get a lot of mana, you know? And it's like, do you really need more than 12 to 15 mana per second? It's like if your spell's on a 5-second cooldown, you know, you're going to have, like, around 70 mana by the time you can cast it again. So if it casts 100, or if it costs 100 even, you're still only, it's really only going to cost 70 with that much mana regen. So that's why, like, I don't like tier Sona or tier Nami or, you know, that kind of stuff. Back in the day with different builds, Sona's the one that usually people will try to get it on. But back in the day when you didn't get that much mana regen, you know, when you used to just go Redemption Locket. Got him. But yeah, back in the day when there was a different meta when tier used to only cost 750, and I think it used to like stack the mana up faster. They did something really weird to it. Like when you currently stack it, you didn't get as much mana. You had to back or something before you could get the full benefit out of it. I don't remember exactly what they did, but I remember it used to cost 750 and used to give you more mana faster. And when tier or when Redemption and Locket were both like the go-to, you had to have both of those before they nerfed them both. Like in Season 7. Because you would go Locket, which doesn't have any mana on it, then there was an argument for going tier, because it's like, well, you know, my powerhouse item, one of them is not going to have mana, so tier becomes very useful. But now that you go like Athene's Redemption or Athene's plus Ardent, you know, you're going to have so much mana regen, it shouldn't be a problem in the mid-game. Hey, what's up, Tim Clark? Yeah, because it costs money, you know? You don't have an infinite of money in the game. Like, you could have been, you know, 40% towards your next redemption or 40% towards your next redemption. And that's a big deal. Those items are huge, so.
And that's why I love it.
It's like super late game. If you get to Archangel's, okay, but Archangel's is so expensive. I don't know. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world you can do. I just think that it's a little on the inefficient side with the way the itemization currently is for enchanters. Fine. I didn't want to give them my ward, but we got information. They all came down there to try to stop me from clearing that ward, so it looks like it's a waste of time, but it got them to waste their time too. I mean, they came over there and we knew where all of them were, and they all committed time to go into that river, which is time they did not spend pushing mid lane, for example, so it looks silly to waste a control ward like that, but fast enough. I'm kind of all alone here. They don't have a wave though? I don't think, or do they? Yeah, they do. Okay, I can't. I might as well just go ahead and back and grab like Moby Boots or something. Do I think, how much gold do you think a dragon is worth? It depends on the dragon. I actually have a whole video on that called How to Control Monster Objectives Like a Pro, if you want an exact breakdown. A lot. Dragons are worth a lot. Even Wind Dragon is worth like over 1,000 gold. It's worth a lot though. Infernal is obviously going to be worth the most late game, like stat wise, but just check out that video. You can even look at the Google Doc. You don't even have to like watch the whole video if you don't want to. I break down the numbers for you in the Google Doc. Just, it's under my topical guides. Says How to Control Monster Objectives Like a Pro. You can just like search monster on my channel and it'll probably show up if you look under the search bar for videos. Each one was multi-thousand gold. What do we need to get? We've got all of the baseline things.
Wildness in the bees and the flowers. It's just
yeah, Recon game because they had an assassin bot lane. I'm trying to play something other than Nami too. I know people like variety, but also like to win. I want to get back to Diamond, but this looked like a place where I could comfortably go for something other than Nami, so I did. I also don't mind a little variety myself, and I love playing Rakan. Rakan's great. He just gets smoked by a lot of the common stuff, but I think into Pike, he can be pretty solid. Into anything that, like, where you need armor, or where armor's really good.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna wait on, I went to Kindle Gem. Yeah, Dragon, I mean, obviously Baron is like, you know, 5,000 gold. It depends on how many towers you get off the Baron, but even Dragons are like super valuable. Even Wind Dragon, people dramatically underestimate it. It's like, it's not quite, but 9% out of combat movement speed ends up being something like, I can't even remember how much it is. It's a hell of a lot of value. Even the dragon that's thought to be the least valuable. It's like a little mini mobility boot. It's like more than half of a mobility boot out of combat movement speed. And that goes on 5 people. So like that right there, like 2 mobility boots are worth like 1,600 gold. And it's worth more than 2 mobility boots. We got him. I think Kale's top lane. I don't think she can be played anywhere else. Probably. Maybe jungle. Yeah, I can pull it up here real quick. Let me see. Oh, let me not forget to... Yeah, let me get the... Yeah.
It's weird. I'm listening late at night and I keep hearing ads for sex toys.
I didn't think they were allowed to put those. I guess maybe on Pandora. It's not a public station.
They don't say what it is. They're just like,
Oh.
spice up the bedroom.
Yeah, we did win with Easy, although probably not too much because of Easy. That Easy wasn't too bad, but I think the Ahri, the Irelia, and the Nunu were rocking people. Okay, let me pull up the Google Doc here. So I break it down even more. Okay, so Infernal Dragon, and I'll walk through the scenarios. It depends on, like, champions, their baseline region for water, Infernal. You know, it depends on how much AD and how much AP you have. Wind, it depends on your base movement speed and things like that. Wind Dragon is somewhere around 1,000 gold. Water Dragon, somewhere around 1,325 gold. I have like 6,000 highlighted there, but I'm not sure. That could be later in the game. I'm not sure what. You'd have to listen to the video to figure out how I explain this, because it's not like super clean numbers. And then Infernal is worth like a minimum, typically, of something around like 1,750 if the average person has like 100 AD. Or like bonus AD, I think. So, over 1,000 gold each. And Wind Dragon, of course, changes in value depending on whether you're in combat or out of combat, because the movement speed changes. Yeah, my wife is painting in the other room with that music. I can't tell how loud that music is, but it's not showing up as, like, super loud. Like, that's all it's showing up as. So hopefully it's not too bad, but... yeah, I mean, I called her a tier 1. I'm one of those people. Because Thresh got nerfed twice. And she is pretty good against things like Sona and Soraka. I'm not going to play her, but she's good against those champions. It's a Pandora station of like 80s music. Y'all probably can't hear too much of it. This mic is not like super sensitive. It's like a $30 headset. Yeah, I just released my tier list video earlier today, so... Be sure to check that out if you haven't at some point over the next couple of days. I'm going to see if I can do the 80 carry tier list after stream tonight. But yeah, I explained sort of like what's going on in the first 20 minutes or so. But yeah, I have Nami, Sona, Soraka, Lulu, Leona. So... the oldies. Hey, what's up, Carl? Yeah, we don't really listen to stuff that's like from the 2000s to contemporary sometimes, but it's rare. Well, that's not true. I do, but I listen to weird stuff. I listen to things like this. Like progressive psytrance. Just really weird, like, electronica kind of music. I just find it interesting. I don't know who the vast majority of these, like, artists are or whatever that are, like, featured in this. I have no clue. I just think that it's interesting. So I just listen to, like, weird mixes. Like psytrance mixes or like chill hop, you know, just some of these like instrumental type of things. But I listen to a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'll listen to like Project Pat, 3-6 Mafia and stuff like that from like the late 90s, early 2000s. We'll just go with Nami in the dark. Nami's pretty good with Jinx.
I decide what the tide will
Sometimes
bring.
I like classic. Yeah, chill step's cool. I mean, usually, like, when I'm listening to music, though, the thing is, like, I'm doing something else most of the time. So, like, if I'm listening to music, I'm probably, like, adding timestamps into videos or trying to grade some essays, you know, doing something like that. So I don't want a lot of, like, vocals that are going to distract me. It's just kind of like, you know, it's like some background music sometimes to give me a little energy if it's late at night or... Hey, Tim Clark. Thanks, buddy. I'll see if I can get some more of that. I've honestly been waiting till I get back to Diamond before I ask for more collaborations like that, just so I have a bit more street cred. Because, you know, even on their channels or something like that, they'll be like, oh, hey, I'm having a conversation with this plat player about blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know. I mean, what I think or whatever doesn't really matter. If I'm Platinum 1 or Platinum 4, it doesn't change, but it's like the, you know, kind of the selling point of it. It's just a little awkward, you know. Okay, thanks, Lev. But yeah, I am interested in doing more stuff like that. I'd like to do some stuff with Freak. We'll see, because I think we both have, like, really good analytical stuff, but he's, you know, he's kind of a big deal. But I don't think he's so big that, like, there's no way in hell he would try to collaborate anything with me. He doesn't do a lot of collaborations with other people, but I think sort of my style, like, I think we'd hit it off personality-wise and, like, our content creation style. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's like when you're interacting with people that are Masters or Challenger and stuff like that, it's just a different kind of thing. Wow, I've got 2 duos in here. A gold 1 and a platinum 1 game? What? Okay, they have like Vel'Koz support though. Yuki's doesn't play support that. Does this guy play? Okay, not that great on Nidalee. Does play Nidalee. Dude, it's okay at Cho'Gath. I guess. Thoughts on Leona? She's good. I'm not gonna play her, but she's a good counter to she's a good counter to things like Soraka, Sona. I mean, like I guess there's a chance I could play her if they have something like if we have like a Draven or a Misfortune or something, and they have like a Jinx Sona or something maybe. Triforce on every champ. There you go, Jolly Falcon. Yeah, we're all a little verbose. I actually listen to both of those too. Whenever patch notes come out, I listen to LS's patch notes, Freak's patch notes, and Scar's patch notes. But I take care of my daughter for like, 6 hours or so on those days. Typically, it's like on a Wednesday or something. But yeah, I think the kind of content that we could make together, and he might be interested in like sort of having a perspective of someone who is like a little older and teaches at a university, like bringing that into the sort of the conversation. Because he's really analytical and he tries to see the other side of stuff too. Like he's not really like, obviously he works for Riot. So I think sometimes they could use some help with their narrative, like spinning their narrative too. Like he tries that. He tries to explain, and sometimes he does a good job about why it's good for the game to have more diversity bot lane, or why like the Spell Thief 0 gold was bad for the game and things like that. But, having someone on that can help them, sort of Riot and him, sort of articulate that vision with like kind of a different sort of perspective. Not that they can't do it, but I think that the way that I explain it on here sometimes can potentially make it a little more palatable, a little more understandable for people. And I would look a little bit less biased because I don't work for Riot. Although I indirectly make money off of Riot because of, I use their game as the content for my channel. But hey, Erickson, yeah, it's not easy, man. It is not easy to get to Diamond. Platinum seems like it's close. It's not really that close for a lot of people. I spent many years in Platinum. In the purgatory of Platinum. I keep wanting to get a haircut. My wife won't let me.
Hey, I've been asking you.
Oh, you can hear that, huh? She can hear that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going through the door now.
She was saying earlier, oh, I can't hear you. I was yelling back something at her, and then I say something like that. She perks up immediately.
Now you're using your announcer voice.
She's like, yeah, please. Shave the beard, cut the hair. I know she secretly likes for me to look homeless.
Secretly like what?
For me to look homeless.
No, I don't.
That's like a fetish or something.
No, it's not. I don't like kissing you with that beard.
She says she doesn't like kissing me with the beard, that it's like there's like a horse brush or something poking into her mouth. Okay, am I like, is this... Am I going to have to exit out of this and come back in? I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not. Oh, okay, it's going. Hopefully it won't exit me out here. Keep playing. I was afraid that I was like going to get glitched out and then I was going to get lever busted. That was a really long 100%. Do a live while shaving. I don't know, maybe. It's hard to do that and it's kind of messy. Unless someone wants to donate for it. It was fun to do that donation that time, but...
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Is it raining much for you there? You live in Mississippi, close to the Tennessee... You mean the Mississippi River? I don't think Mississippi... Wait. Maybe I don't know my rivers. Does the Tennessee River feed into the Mississippi? I honestly don't know. I assumed it didn't. I didn't think the Tennessee River went that far, but I guess maybe it does.
Minions have spawned.
It is not raining here as of yet. Not very much. The weather tends to, like... Well, a little bit. It's not raining right now, though. I don't think. The weather in general tends to move from where you are, like Mississippi, over our direction. Like, it tends to... Almost all weather tends to start up in kind of, like... Oregon, sort of, most fronts, weather fronts, and then they cycle down through, like, Texas, and then, like, through Mississippi over to the East Coast, and, like, up to the Northeast, I think. I'm not a meteorologist, but that's called something. But that's how usually weather hits the West a little bit first, and then comes East. Not always, but... Yeah, I'm doing, I didn't get the collared shirt, I forgot, so I'm just wearing a t-shirt today. Casual Fridays, yeah. I didn't have class or anything today. But yeah, usually I do wear a collared shirt. I just forgot to grab one. I woke up a little late and ran down here. And I'd kind of already started this week, so I was like, well, whatever. What is this bot lane meta? I don't know what they're doing, Belcause. Some people just like playing AP champs. I mean, our bot lane is very meta right now. I don't know. Vayne's meta. It's just the Belcause a little weird, but he still does decent poke damage. He can still put out like a lot of all-in. We don't have a ton of. I mean, I guess we do have some divers with Zed, you know, but I think he's annoying. I'd much rather have our champs in there, so.
An enemy has been slain.
I eat way too many of these Qs. Studying meteors. That'd be pretty sweet. I can see that. Yeah, sometimes the names are a little weird on something. I told this girl in psychology, this was many years ago when I was an undergrad, I was trolling her, and I knew she was kind of listening in on our conversation. Or no, actually, I was talking directly to her, I remember now. There was someone else listening in on the conversation behind us. It was like in a class, had like 150 students in like this huge like lecture hall thing, and it was like a little bit before class, and I told her that I was gonna major in misogyny, and she was just like, oh yeah? I said, yeah. I was like, man, massage therapy, I think that's where it's gonna be. And I knew what misogyny was. I was just betting that she didn't know what it was. And then she did it, and she's like, oh, that sounds cool, I want to major in misogyny too. She's like, I bet there's a lot of good jobs there. I was like, oh, it's everywhere. You'll love it. Then this, I think this dude behind me started cracking up. And I said it, and she's just like, what? Like, looking at him. She's like, what? I can do it. It was pretty great. If you don't know, like, misogyny is not massages. It's extreme dislike for women. So I was definitely trolling her there. She was pretty funny. She wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but she was great. Do what? Oh. She's cute though, and she's a fun girl. I think I asked her out on like one date one time, but it was like very subtle. And then she was just like, I don't know, I'm busy that day. I was like, okay. And then just moved on. She's like, all right, sure. And we like had a mutual friend, and then her mutual friend asked me later, she's like, did you ask such and such out on a date? And I was like, I can't remember, I don't think so. And then she's like, oh, okay, because she wasn't sure. She thought maybe you did. And I was like, I don't know. Misogyny is the men's version of feminism. It's an interesting statement. I don't really want to go there on the channel, but I could definitely see the parallels. Because I don't think, like, and once again, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I don't think that all feminism is necessarily what people think of these days when you think of, like, the hyper-aggressive men-hating feminism. Like, feminism originally, or at least there are some forms of feminism that are just simply want women to have, like, a fair share or fair rights, you know, to vote and to be treated with respect and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the, you know, man-eating, like, anti-white, you know, all of that kind of stuff that it's kind of, like, mutated into these days. So, it's, unfortunately, that's how that word has been sort of co-opted. Oh, wow, I should have hit her. Damn it. I don't think I would have killed her. I was trying to hand off the kill. This is why you don't hand off kills, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that word gets co-opted for so many political purposes. It's like, it just basically doesn't even have any meaning, really. Whoa, that did a lot of damage. I guess because it was warmed up on Zed. Holy crap. But yeah, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. I just think that there are some women that, you know, can believe in other women without necessarily hating men. There were several that I worked with in grad school. There were some man-eaters too in grad school for sure. But there were some that were like very cordial, very polite, you know, to men. So I don't think it has to have the same kind of parallel as misogyny. Misogyny, like, unequivocally, you know, is hating women. But then some things that get called misogyny, I wouldn't really call misogyny either. I don't know. It's just identity politics or something that are just like... The whole rhetoric just gets really toxic really quick, no matter which side you're on. So that's why I try to avoid stuff like that on the channel. Hey, thanks, Calvin. So some of the issues are definitely worth discussing. I just think that they're, like, there's a certain zone for that. And that not everybody wants to talk about that or think about that at all times. Including me. So... Yeah, but people don't know that, like, the history of that. Yeah, you're right about the different waves. Damn, really? He's already in one-shot territory? Nice. All right. Got to clean up. Yeah, I mean, I will say in general with a lot of stuff, it's very difficult. Like, the thing is like a statute of limitations on justice. Like, that's sort of what it comes down to with a lot of stuff. It's like kind of the affirmative action philosophy. Well, it's like, well, women or, you know, anyone else that's not a white man in the West or whatever, people will say, well, they've been oppressed for so long to make up for that. And any, like, invisible oppression that's out there, you have to give them more than other people. And that's how it equals out. Like, that's the theory. Is that they already start with so much, so you have to work actively to counterbalance it. Because if you gave them something that was just fair, it would actually still be unfair. So once again, I don't, you know, necessarily subscribe to all of that, but that's the theory behind it. But yeah, I don't want to go too far into that kind of affirmative action-esque type of reasoning. Yeah, Zed was pretty strong right there. Little chance for fate, yeah. Older subscriber on the channel. I'm not sure. I think Mr. Magpie might be in his 50s. I'm not entirely sure. I tend to agree with you, John. I tend to agree with like most of what you're saying, but I don't want to start too much of a thing.
Ally has been slain.
I could have maybe R'd and knocked him out of that. I'm not sure. I mean, she had flash also.
We are all tied to the ocean.
I will say in general, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole once again, but as far as like this concept of white privilege type of thing, I think that's a very myopic Western type of critique, because I don't know, but if you counted it up, I would say there's a hell of a lot more people that are not white in the world than there are people that are white. If we're talking India, China, South America, Africa, last time I looked, there's a lot of people in those countries. But, and just saying that like none of these people have ever like had much of a voice or a power in history. I mean, China's powerful as hell historically. So is India. But anyways, I don't want to go like too far down that. Yeah, myopic's just kind of a literary word for short-sighted to an extent. I think it's actually kind of racist to say those people don't have a lot of power, you know, like, I don't know, but anyways. It's like, yeah, maybe not in some moments historically in like America and Europe, but the world is a very large place. But okay, Jose. I mean, that's what sometimes it can get confusing too, between like race and nationality and religion and things like that sometimes. Slowly backs away from own canon word. That's right. Yeah, I'm not really up on the conversation about what people would consider, you know, white. And I don't even think that, like, one of the terms that drives me crazy, like drives me up the wall, and I said I wasn't going to go to this conversation, but now that people have started it, is like the thing, or people say people of color in our country. I'm like, really? You're going to call anyone that's not white, you're going to say they're all the same. They're all in this one group, people of color. You're going to say African Americans, Asian Americans, like South Americans, like people actually from Africa. Like everybody's the same. They're all people of color. I'm like, it is very, very different, both historically and just sort of culturally. Like, it's ridiculous. And even just call, like, the concept of, like, Asia or Asian Americans is so, like, different, too. Because I'm like, if we're actually considering the continent of Asia, that includes India, China, like, Iran, and Russia. Those are all in the Asian continent. So I'd say those places are pretty different in kind of their history, their cultural, their beliefs, their language, everything. I don't know. That just drives me nutty. It's not all the same. Like, I think it's disrespectful to say it is, but anyways. Well, people use people of color to mean African American people, like, but it's an overarching term. It can also mean, people use that to mean Indian, like Indian Americans, or like Asian, like East Asian Americans. That's why people switch to that term. That's why people don't say African Americans anymore. They say people of color. It's like basically like if you're not white, your culture is all the same. You all have the same difficulties and the same, like, you've all had the same level of struggle against the white man. I'm like, no, that's not historically. Like, yeah, America has had race problems throughout its history, but it's like very different kinds of race problems in different moments in history for different reasons. I don't know. Yeah, we probably need to, like, move away from that. I'm sure I'm going to offend somebody at some point. I just want more specificity. Like, quit putting everybody in the same box, you know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest problem with this group identity crap. Is like it tries to make all, like, group people into these classifications and say that, like, you know, all these groups are the same, and the classifications just keep becoming, like, bigger and bigger. Gonna be the same color? I don't think it matters. I think, like, it really, like, as far as biology, it does not really matter at all. Like, some groups of people are more susceptible to certain types of diseases or have immunity from other types of diseases, but that really has to do more with, like, where they live geographically and not the color of their skin. Like, the color of the skin is such an extremely small amount of the genome. That was pretty gross.
Enemy double kill.
I mean, race is a culturally constructed thing. Like, it's constructed to divide people. That's it. Like, the concept of race is not actually a skin color. It's a classification that people use to justify and dehumanize other people. Like, that's what it is. It's to make people not look like people. It's to make them into an abstract group that's arbitrarily created around a color that's easily identifiable. Like, it's not an actual, it has virtually no biological significance.
Quit flopping around.
I'm not getting PC. Like, what I'm saying is actually pretty anti-PC. Depending on which side you're on, I'm sure I could offend people on both sides by some of the things I've said here, which is why I probably need to stop saying them. But I think what I'm saying is definitely not PC by all sides. Well, there are some differences, like I said. Like, some people are, like, for example, people with European ancestry are slightly less, like, more immune to HIV. Because I think they said there was some kind of precursor disease or something that was, like, kind of ancient in the DNA that gave them a little more resistance to that. So, like, there are some real things, but it's more of, like, based on geography rather than based on race. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of, like, caught up in that, but anyways. Alright, let's get down here and get this. I know, but I don't know. I didn't need to do that to save him, but I was a little scared. Kenan might try to flash for him or something. Like, there are going to be, like, maybe some things with race, but there's really not that much. It's more of the culture. Like, it does have significance, but only because of, like, histories of prejudice and things like that have, like, put certain groups of people in poverty, basically. Like, that's the huge thing. So, like, race, for example, in America, yes, you could look at, you know, somebody's race and make certain predictors over large populations about education, general education levels and wealth levels and things like that. And you could make predictions based on that, but it's not because of their race, it's because of, like, their cultural history in the country. And that is still, like, huge problems. Creates huge problems, and there are all sorts of exceptions everywhere, so. Yeah, but I'm not, let's just go away from it. I don't want to say that one group is more oppressed than another, that one group deserves a certain level of special attention than another, or anything like that. I was just trying to debunk the notion of, like, significant, like, racial biology. Which, you know, like phrenology and things like that. Which is really eugenics and stuff like that, which has really been debunked, like, centuries ago. Yeah, but geography and race aren't the same thing. Like, sort of, historically. Heh.
My quest beckons.
That's exactly right, Matt. Let's try to go back on 3. I'm sorry I got off too much on it. Let's see if we can get away and turn this into a win. Yeah. Listen to that sax solo. Who can that be? Yeah, Cho is huge. been trying to disengage for like 3 minutes. Whoa, Cho doesn't have a Warmogs? Buddy, you gotta get you a Warmog, son. OP on Cho. Hey, thanks, Kira.
There's always another wave.
Yeah, I'll just cap the conversation by, you know, obviously America has had a race problem. You know, and to some extent still does have a race problem today, but it's a lot more complicated, I think, than people think, and some of the solutions to it aren't really, like, that great that people have come up with, but super complicated issue. But yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say about it. That's my final word.
Ew, well bred.
Like clean KDA. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Zed is going to be real scary on this patch, by the way. BT dubs. Real. I think we win the game off of that, though. So he got it, but we're just going to win. It's where you're kind of turning it into a bad choice where it's a lose-lose. Basically, Lee has to suicide even if they get a bear, and it's going to be 4v5. I think he flashed my wave, because I threw a wave right at him that stopped him from going in with his Q. Yeah, the Zed changes. I was predicting Zed was probably going to be pretty strong if he was going to play anymore. Jinx, by the way. Very strong champ. Conquer got reworked. Let's see, what's Grey Grave say? Anything new come this patch? Yeah, quite a lot. Conquer got changed. I know, Fab. I don't want to go too far into that concept of white privilege. I understand, like, that's what I mentioned at the very beginning, which is, like, it depends on what the statute of limitations you think is on sort of cultural oppression. A big problem with white privilege also is it's, like, how much does that correlate with poverty? But it's tough. I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about, definitely don't want to talk about white privilege. All right, we'll give it to Jinx. No, I don't think that. I don't think Conquer is going to be that good. So let's try to go away from the white privilege thing. We're getting quite a bit. We're getting 21 per. Just pretty nice. I mean, we have had a nice win rate over the last little bit. Oops, not 24. 42. See you, Jake. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. No, but that's not all, Fab. Because people use that concept in order to justify trying to even up scales. So if you're saying that, like, a class of people, a group of people are privileged based on their race, then you're going to say this scale is, you know, tipped in their favor, and so you're naturally people want to do things to try to tip the scale back in the favor of other people. That's the problem with it. If it was just a simple observation, that would be okay, but that's not how it gets used. Well, gender's another thing. That's true to an extent, but there are certain perks also. But yeah, I don't want to... Where can you find your MMR? You can't find the exact number. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Like, you just have to intuit it by like what your what your LP gains and what your LP losses are. So if you're gaining or losing, like, or if you're gaining more than 20, then your MMR is higher than your current LP. If you're losing, you know, more than 20, then your LP is lower than it currently should be. But some of that also depends. I think in Diamond, they're lowering the amount of LP that you gain and lose over time. But yeah, you really can't do anything about it, so it doesn't matter that much. It's just the main thing is, you know, just play your games. If the game looks bad, dodge it, you know. So it doesn't matter that much. I mean, yeah, white privilege is slightly different from affirmative action, but it's only because it brings in a larger group of people, the people of color designation that I mentioned, and gender, instead of just African Americans. No, op.gg doesn't show that. But let's just move away from the conversation. I mean, people are going to disagree about this a lot. So I know I'm the one that brought it up, and I kept it going for probably longer than I should. And I think, you know, we did a pretty good job of everybody, like, not getting too flustered about it, but we're pushing the envelope. I think that if we keep going with this too much longer. How do you fix your MMR? You just win games. I mean, I wouldn't really worry about the MMR too much. Or really, like, I wouldn't worry about your rank too much, honestly. I just work on trying to improve as a player, and then just play the best game that you can every time. And if you're doing that, you'll rank up, regardless of what your rank is. I agree with that, Jared.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Well, let's not talk about that too much on here, Toos. Hey, what's up, Cody? Welcome, buddy. I mean, I'm glad that you're having fun, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of language could potentially turn people off of League. It's alright to have a decent, like, critique of League or whatever every now and then, but don't want too much of that. And on a channel that, like, specializes in League, you know what I mean?
I decide what the tide will bring.
It's like going into a Walmart and telling everybody, hey, man, dude, that Kroger across the street is so much better, man. You know what I mean? Me? Would I do a DNA test? Probably not. I don't like the rhetoric. I just don't want to go into the white privilege conversation. Because I don't think that all white people are privileged. Like, I understand the concept, like, it doesn't matter how you were born or whatever, but I just think it's kind of racist. I think there are plenty of poor white people that have also, like, had problems in their lives, you know? I think I'm going to dodge this. There's, like, 3 support mains. Yuki's was pretty good last time, but... Yeah, I know it does, little dot. I'm familiar with those tests. I don't know. I might at some point, but it wouldn't be to, like, make a point about race. It'd just be interesting to see, like, ancestors or genetic dispositions for certain things. I don't really like the word privilege. Because I think even, like, the concept of rich privilege, like, a lot of rich people earned that money. Like, some people were just given money, yeah, through, like, trust funds or stuff, but a lot of rich people had to work very, very hard to get that money. You know, like, doctors have to go through, like, 12 years of school. Like, a lot of people that make a lot of money off of investment, like, they took huge risks. Like, tons of people go bankrupt trying to start their own business and lose everything. So, like, a lot of people that are wealthy took on, you know, tremendous risks to get that wealth. And there are so many people that fail because of that. And, like, people that are in high professional jobs, like doctors and stuff like that, have to go to school for a very long time, and it's very competitive. So I really don't like the... I mean, yes, some rich people do have it handed to them, but a lot of them work hard for it, too. So I just... Yeah, I don't really like the concept of applying privilege to large classes of people. How would I define it? I wouldn't classify all groups of people and say that they're privileged. Like, there's so many different shades, so many different situations in each person, and even, like, within different classes or groups of people. Yeah, let's just drop it, Fab. I think it's just you and I that are, like, the only people that are talking about it at this point. Dude, for real? I dodged it with like 3 seconds left. Right? Didn't I dodge it with like 3 seconds left? For real?
A summoner has reconnected. First blood.
So stupid. I dodged was like 3 seconds left. It wasn't even last second. They just need a freaking dodge button. Like, instead of trying to exit out of the client, where it's like literally you press it and you're dodged. And you like go to like a lobby. It's possible we can win this. It's just... Like I said, we have triple support. That was the main thing, is there's 2 auto-filled supports, and like filled supports are the worst usually, because supports don't usually get filled. They don't have like practice playing other roles as much as, you know, other roles do. No, Fab. It's just not, buddy. No one wants to have the conversation. I mean, it's an interesting conversation to have. I think I've explained my position pretty well for like almost an hour, but I think people just want to move on from it. I understand what you're talking about in terms of your definitions and things like that. But I think there's so much of that elsewhere going on in our culture. People just, like, when they tune into a League stream, they just don't want to hear about that for very long. Nah, I wouldn't want to work at Riot. I don't want to move out to California. California is a fine place, probably, you know, for most people, but I just want to live in East Tennessee. Yeah, Kale's not that strong right now either. I mean, she is facing a Cho. Oh, it's a Renekton middle. Renekton's pretty good against Yasuo, I think. Yeah, I mean, I should have dodged it, which is why I tried to dodge it with 3 seconds left, but Riot's like, nah, man. I don't think people have preconceived notions. I think people like can legitimately argue the other side of what you're saying. I don't think it's like that people don't understand what you're saying. I think people can fully well understand what your definitions are and like not agree with them. I think there are a lot of baseline assumptions between some of the things you're saying, which is not to say they're entirely wrong, but I'm just saying that it doesn't mean that someone's like illogical if they disagree with that. But I don't think it's just a misunderstanding of terms. But yeah, we'll just move on from it. It's fine. Certainly wouldn't like the traffic, that's true. I remember when I was out in LA, it was like 2 hours to go to like a beach that should have been like 30 minutes. We went to all kinds of different beaches, like Long Beach and Venice Beach and things like that. And we were staying in like kind of this Hollywood type of zone. My buddy's sister was medical residency out at UCLA. And she had to live pretty close to the hospital because she was like on call a lot. Oh no, Amumu's getting invaded. That's weird. We're getting pushed in. That's fine, Fab. We'll just leave it at that, man.
Quit flopping around. I'll find my path.
Yeah, sorry about that, Uni, man. I'm trying to move off of it. Like as polite as I can. Let's just... Yeah, let's just seriously just drop it, Fab. I think people are tired of hearing about it, man.
An ally has been slain.
You can have the last word on it, that's fine. We'll just drop it. Who are the supports? Soraka and Nami?
Shut down.
Yeah, this is not a very good, like, matchup at all for us, which is why I try to dodge it at 3 seconds, but we could maybe still win. We're hanging in there in CS, but, like, Ezreal gets extra money off of Klepto. Yasuo and Kayle do scale, but the problem is they're each going to get murdered, and when both your solo lanes lose, it's going to be really hard. Hey, what's up, Carlos?
Mid-ranked, I believe in you. This is Carlos BTW.
Okay,
Maybe
I'll play a
one day
Veigar
I'll
rank.
catch you to play with you.
Thanks so much for the donation, I appreciate it.
An ally has been slain.
Okay, thanks, Uni. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, sorry. I know it's always a mistake. No matter how much I try to, you know, have reasonable conversations about that stuff, it always ends up. There's just no point. It is interesting. Like, I do obviously have values and beliefs about that kind of stuff, and I'm sure everybody does. But you know, once again, people, you know, I'm kind of with you there. A lot of people just don't want to hear about it all the time. So, that's cool. Hey, what's up, Halls? You got that weekend, huh? Nice. Got in ult range? Oh, get the Soraka, man. She had already blown her flash. Now he's just inching under tower.
An ally has been slain.
Ew, whale breath.
He should have just ulted Soraka. Like, Ezreal still had his flash. I don't know. And this game's a freaking massacre. I should have dodged it. Like, I don't know why the hell it wouldn't let me dodge it, but the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter too much. Although, it is annoying that, like, this happens. It feels like this happens at least once every few days, where I dodge it 3 seconds and it doesn't give me the dodge.
Your turret has been destroyed.
He probably is. Yeah, maybe it was probably autofilled. I don't know. I mean, our comp is terrible. It's like, we don't have a single, like, lane dominant champion in any of our lanes. Like, they win every lane. They win every lane and the jungle. Like, everybody picked a scaling champ with no CC, or with limited CC at least. That, in general, like, Yasuo is, like, pretty good. Vayne is pretty good. Like, in theory, those champions are good, but, like, we have no early game. We don't even really have a mid game. It's like we only have late game. And we're obviously not going to get there. They're going to kill this Yasuo, who's, like, AFK'd at the tier 2. Whoa, wow. Why would you tumble into melee combat with Renekton? Probably gonna get killed here. I don't have any mana.
Forward.
I used the E on her to put Airy on her because I didn't have enough for a heal. But that does block some of the damage. This dude inting or what, dude? Is he like win trading with someone on the enemy team? Why didn't they kill him? I don't understand. The Yasuo is obviously like AFK, but... I was afraid he might actually die there. I mean, it's possible we could come back. She's probably going to get dunked here in a second. I mean, I can't cover everything. We had to try to get some kills there. She did stop him at the inhibitor. I mean, he also got a few kills. KO got a few kills. It's possible. Maybe they start tilting or something. This is game number 3. We won the first 2. I tried to dodge this one. The game did not let me dodge. I even did it at like 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure I pressed it at 3 seconds. It was either 3 seconds or 2 seconds. And it still put me in the game. I've learned to come back in and just check just to see if I got placed in the game or not, even when I dodge, because it does this to me like 2 or 3 times a week. People say, well, why don't you dodge like a hell of a lot earlier? And the reason is sometimes other people dodge, so I don't have to use my dodge if you wait for a little bit. And it works like 90% of the time, probably even more than that, 95% of the time. No, this is 3rd game. We won the first 2. Dude, why? Okay. I mean, we really shouldn't be trading kills when we're this far behind, bro. Mumu's just such a hot pile of garbage most of the time too. Like, he's so easy to bully out early. What the hell? He didn't ult? Why wouldn't you ult that? He jumped in for like 1,500 damage. Vayne's trying, dude. Yeah, these guys have... Is he saying something in all chat? Why aren't they killing him? Is it a... There's no way it's a win trade, right? I don't understand, like... why they're letting him do that. I mean, they don't have an inhibitor yet. We're only down 8 kills.
My quest beckons.
I mean, I don't think we're favored, but I think we went from like 10% to maybe 30% chance to win. For real? Get out of here, dude.
An enemy is dominating. I still hear the song of the sea.
No, yeah, I don't think it's a win trader. I think it's like win trading doesn't really exist until you get up to like master tier, because you can't guarantee you're going to be in the same kind of roles, you know. So yeah, I really don't think it is. I think they are just kind of letting him do it. It's just weird. So yeah, I don't actually think that it is probably. Yeah. I don't think it actually is. It's just really bizarre how they're just letting him sit there like that. I don't think I've seen. If I have seen it, it's extremely rare. Like less than 5 times out of like the 10,000 games of League I've played. Like I've never seen them like if someone's trying to int into them like that, just sit there and like not attack the person. I mean, it is allowing us to get back in the game, though. Maybe that's his thing. Maybe that's his angle, is he's like, hey, like, this Jarvan's not going to kill me. He's just going to walk around and taunt me. So he is, like, buying us time, sort of. I mean, it's possible. Okay. I got silence and stun on for like 5 seconds. Almost got enough to, like, heal there, though. Does he play Yi or something? I don't think he's mad. He hasn't said anything specifically to me. I don't have him muted. He hasn't said anything to me. Like, this is what you get for banning my Yi, you know. I think he just thinks the game's over and he gave up. But it's just weird. Because he's trying sometimes. He's not, like, literally running into their towers. So it's just, like, really, like, inconsistent. Couldn't get a good angle to bubble. They were just like out of range. I think if he didn't give up as much, like we had a chance. Like I said, not much of one, but like there was a window there. We had a little bit. If Hale didn't like run it down middle there, maybe. Oh, I missed the pregame chat. Okay, was he like yelling about that in pregame? I mean, I tried to dodge the game either way. He didn't say anything in-game about it. I don't know. Look, I tried to ban. I tried to dodge. Rito didn't let me. I guess I should look and make sure no one's a Master Yi main before I ban it. He'll get... I don't know. It's if anyone ever looks at the footage, it's like, it's so obvious. Now, they don't look at the footage unless you have a lot of bans, though, or unless you have a lot of reports. I do believe that they do look at footage for, like, you know, people that have a ton of bans or have a ton of reports. So I don't think they do it that often.
An enemy is legendary.
Yeah, I mean, he's just running it down into him. I do have all chat muted, so I mean, he could be saying something in all chat. I don't know. Wait, he's Diamond 1? He's a Diamond 1 support main that was inting the game because he got a role that he never plays. What a complete troll. He said my Yi. He doesn't even play Yi. He has like no games on Master Yi. He wasn't hovering it, and he literally has no games on it. No, it's not positional ranked in a nutshell. This guy is an exception. This is the only person I've seen with like this level of extreme, like, abuse. And it's a high level diamond player. It's like, I think that a lot of those, it's like the high diamonds, the masters, like those are the people that exploit and try to like cheese systems and stuff a lot more. Most people just play ranked and just, you know, actually just play the game because they want to play it, you know. It's unfortunately a lot of the top end people that tend to abuse stuff and focus on like cases of abuse. Oh, Vagar mid. Okay. I can do mid Vagar. That's actually a lot better because then if I lose, you know, kind of like the other guy, it doesn't matter as much, right? Oh, you can get demoted because of losing in your off roll? I didn't realize that. Okay, I mean, I can duo with Mutant for this one if people want me to. Because it's going to be a mid-game. Well, he does know better. He's trolling. He knows you can't play a Moo in the jungle. He's just, like, screwing around. He's just throwing the game on purpose, basically. He doesn't even play, like... He doesn't even play Master Yi. He spams Nami. And then Thresh some as well. Hey, thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. For all the people out there that say, oh, writing reports doesn't matter. They never take any action on anybody. People never get banned. Yeah, they do. We see this sometimes. Like, this is like instant. Probably because I clicked it as cheating. So they looked at it like really quickly. But he may have gotten 9x'd by everyone on, like the enemy team may have all reported as well. The more reports you get, the more likely it is they're going to look at it really quickly. No, Vagar's okay. Vagar's not terrible. I think he's probably better middle than he is. I mean, he can be alright as support. It's just like up in like Platinum 1, I feel like it's harder to make that work, but we don't know what the penalty is. It's probably not permaban. Yeah, no, one report is not enough, but every report matters. That's what I'm saying. Because here's the thing, like, if somebody just has one bad game, okay. Like, I don't think someone should be permabanned because, you know, they got fired at work and came home, and then they were a little more irritable than usual, and someone said something to them in chat, and then they just go off and int in a game, you know, or like their girlfriend broke up with them, or just because they're kind of a salty person in general, and they usually keep it under control, but they're just having a bad day. You know, I don't think people should be, you know, permabanned for having a bad day, but, I do watch this or that sometime. I haven't in the last couple of weeks, but, you know, I don't think people should be permabanned for that. But I think they should be reported for that, and there's a difference. Like, just because you report somebody doesn't mean you think they should be permabanned. It just means that you're just putting a mark in the record for, you know, Riot to evaluate, to look at in, with the full context, because I don't know the full context of how often this happens to him and, like, the kinds of behavior that goes on. So if someone's doing that, like, every day, inting and trolling like that, then yes, they should be punished in a scaling fashion, right? They should be, like, you know, have, like, a 1-week suspension or maybe a chat suspension, and if they keep doing it, then they eventually get permabanned. for most offenses. Now, things that are like super racist or, you know, stuff like that, I think they should, you know, have like amp it up a lot faster. But for people that just have a couple of bad games, or people that, you know, have some DC issues every now and then, you know, there's a thunderstorm, their power goes out, you know, something like that, I don't think they should be immediately banned.
I'm absolutely livid.
Oh, is there a hotfix system? I didn't see a hotfix. Hotfix nerf conquer, so does it? I'll have to see, Delib. As far as I knew, the support tier list was supposed to be the same, but I'll have to look at it. Is it on surrender at 20? Okay, I'll look at it after this. I didn't know. I didn't look at it all day. I was taking care of my daughter, and then we went over and had dinner with the family. I really haven't even seen that much Galio support in pro play. I'll have to look that up. I've seen it every now and then. If it was someone like Lahin's playing it in Korea, it's probably different.
Know that if the tables were turned, I would show you no mercy.
Okay, let's see here. I think it's just Comet. I'm not really sure what to run on him. I'm not even sure what to get as a secondary. We'll keep Ignite, I guess. I kind of want to go TP. Power. Oh, you're talking about the monitor power. I put it the highest performance, I think. Sadie, what are you doing? Are you just wanting some little food? Are you wanting some food? I could have done coup de grace, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't do it for the rewards. The honor system is kind of silly. I just do it just to be a good person. And I think that being a good person ultimately, like, to an extent, does help you in League, because you don't get distracted as much if you're less toxic, I think. And especially as you move into higher elos, people will remember that and hold grudges against you if you talk trash against them. That's at least what I think, but yeah, Grasp TF's a little weird. Maybe he's trying not to get bursted out. I mean, I got Medieval Twitch for doing that, which used to be like a really valuable skin. Yeah, I took Gathering Storm. I mean, I could take, if I thought I was going to be able to poke him out, I could have taken Scorch or something like that, but I do high performance on everything on my computer. It's a pretty good computer. I mean, I built it in like 2015, so it's not like the absolute like newest stuff. But it was pretty good stuff back then. It's like a 6-core i7 with 980. Oh, almost clicked on that. I don't want to do that. I think probably just this.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Wow, they nerfed Conquer? Gee, I thought it was already bad. Jesus. Like, you have to get 5 hits on somebody to stack it, and like most of the interactions just don't work. Like on someone like Riven, it's okay. On like Urgot, it was okay, but maybe I was just maybe I just didn't get it. I don't know. It seemed bad to me. Oh, I could have done Dark Seal.
Minions have spawned.
Dark Seal doesn't have HP though, right? Like, I'm a little scared of like the Flash Gold card from TF and then like the Lee Sin gank. I don't know. I always just get Doran's Ring if I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I think it's just like the best generic one. I definitely not go in tier first. Probably gonna go Catalyst. I mean, he really does not have mana problems, I don't think. I think tier slows down your progression too much. I'd rather have Catalyst and just get to Ludens. So you really only want to get 1 mana item on him. And, you know, if you go tier, you're kind of committing to Archangels, and that's a much slower development path than Ludens. It is very good when you get it fully stacked, but... I'm gonna go ahead and get this in case Twitch ganks.
First blood.
I still think Halo Blades is probably better on Rek'Sai. I don't know. I mean, to me, it felt like it wasn't going to be that good. But if they hotfixed it, there must have been some data they were seeing where people were getting like really high win rates on things. I tested a bunch of interactions. He could have just cleansed out of that. I don't know. I thought he... Every time I use Q, I'm basically getting like 20 extra gold value because the AP. I'm pretty sure he backed. You want to try to get the double stack if you can, obviously. I'm ranked 688 in NA on Sona, yeah. I've lost a lot this week, too. Ludens. So we'll just do it that way. Maybe should have gotten boost because I don't have teleport. I don't know. Yeah, you get two stacks from big minions. Yeah.
Killing
I mean, I'm kind of just farming it out with him because I am sort of scared of, like, Lee, but maybe I'm being unreasonable, like, in that fear.
I smell death.
executed.
That was a bad W there. I thought it would clear him, but I don't have quite enough for it to clear yet.
Even death travels in
Here is death.
suffering awaits. I will follow your soul. Fucking crazy.
Shit, I didn't have enough mana there for the ult.
Your commands tire me.
Well, he has cleanse also. You got to remember that. He doesn't have flash, but he does have cleanse. So he could run out of my stun if he wants to.
The magic, it comes to me.
Can League partners do that? I don't know. Guess I should have signed up for that partnership program earlier. They really did not like disclose all of the perks.
I smell death.
That still would have been nice to have a Smurf.
Suffering awaits.
Damn it, I was hoping I could get both of those. Okay, nice. He waited till he flashed. That's a smart blitzcrank right there. You run up to him and just knock him up and then wait till the flash goes down. I need to go back and get something. I don't have enough to like get anything that great. Okay, well I got him to use something. I mean, TF is about the easiest lane you could possibly draw up for Veigar, so... Like, TF's real power is his ability to roam around the map, which he hasn't been doing that well. Yeah, that was a smart blitz. Well, I missed the cannon experience, which sucks, but... Thought Lee might jump over this at me. Well, Rabadon's is not one of those, like, ASAP things. It's super expensive, so, and I don't have any kills. I've got to get Ludens first. I do have to have, like, 8 mana items.
It's only a short way. Is that a short joke?
Well, yeah, I mean, if I could just conjure up a magical Deathcap Short, it's a 3,600 gold item. Yeah, I'd love to drive a Ferrari, too, but I'm not getting one of those anytime soon, either.
I can see the fear in your
Rampage.
I'm not using my flash for that. Okay, well now I'm getting some mana back. Right, alright. Alright, now I can blow up that back line in one shot.
Turret plating will soon fall. Your turret has been destroyed.
I don't have it anymore, too.
suffering awaits. It's only a short way. Is that a short joke?
Okay, now if I get him in that, he probably should die. Three people using all their ults. I think he should die. was kind of
Your commands tire me.
I don't want to talk about it too. I wouldn't go E second if as mid Vagar, maybe a support Vagar, but
Stalking prey.
guys, you need the W leveled up so you can one-shot the back line. So I have enough wave clear to match the TF
I am evil. Stop
as mid Vagar.
the magic. It calls to me. Give up now.
Like support Vagar is slightly different because you're not trying to like wave clear really as much. So you can like getting the stun is probably better as support Vagar. But for mid Vagar, you need the wave clear.
Suffering away.
Godlike. Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down.
It's not even like damage like against players, it's damage against creeps. And the damage against players is nice, but it's really that wave clear that's like the important thing here. Man, no one else is here. I think we're gonna have to lay this one down. They got Soraka healing him up. Oh, okay. I might get thugged here, but
Has been slain.
Riven kind of like bailed on him there.
Has destroyed a turret.
Please don't get killed by Lee here. It's kind of risky, because Lee could have just popped over that wall and blown me up, but yeah, I mean, like, this is a plat 4. My mid rank is plat 4 right now, so. I just want the immediate power spike of the double pin. And then we'll see after that. We might go, if we can afford death cap, we'll try to get it, but. It's like, yeah, I could have gone double rod. But I have, yeah, I think I had enough for double rod, but I'd rather have the tier 2 boots. Like the immediate double pin spike. I probably need to get Morellonomicon for Soraka
Your
anyways.
turret has been destroyed.
It's only a short way. Is that a
Your
short
team
jump?
has destroyed a turret.
He might try to like rift middle. I can't go down there. They're gonna like open up the middle.
Enemy has been slain.
Now, you're not
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
I just don't think yeah, they're gonna do this, probably.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I smell death.
No, I need Oblivion Orb, guys. It's a lot of immediate damage, and I need the healing debuff for Soraka, because like no one else has a healing debuff. Double pin on Sork Boots plus Oblivion Orb is a much stronger immediate power spike than just 2 rods. And I need the healing debuff for Rocco later on, so... I don't know about flashying there. I thought about it, but it was still on the dicey side. I know you like Deathcap. Deathcap is super, super expensive. It's like 3,600 gold. And like the components are really annoying to buy. Like sometimes you have to buy just whatever you can afford when you go back. Like it's a large rod every time. So unless I want to sit on like 800 gold in my inventory on a back, then it's like super niche to get it early. Unless you're just like overflowing with money. And it's very delayed because rods are a lot weaker than things like Oblivion Orb or Sword Boots, like your tier 2 Sword Boots, and they don't have any utility to them. Like Oblivion Orb has some health on it. Sork Boots give you movement speed. Oof, that was kind of scary.
Your commands.
Now we can start looking at it. No. Like, cutting out Soraka's healing is a massive top priority.
The magic. It's called
Don't flash for that ribbon. Alright, well. Hold on to this for now. This is kind of the thing that you get yourself into when you try to start getting cap. Is like you'll back and you'll have like 900 gold or 800 gold or something. Oh, whoa. I missed that. See, I still killed him, even with... I guess I do have a couple points in E at this point, but... Yeah, I know it's a spike, but it's like too long of a spike. It's like a third or a fourth item, unless you're like mega rich. Especially against the Soraka, where you need the anti-healing. Like, I'm already one-shotting people. They've got combos also, you know, like... Yeah, doing more is good, but they don't have a lot of tanks or anything either. So, like, having that utility, anti-healing, the health, the extra speed. We're at 654 AP.
Suffering awaits.
Whoa, 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 what?
Totally that rock's fault.
At least coming in here.
The magic, it calls to me.
Q hits for about 800, W hits for 1200, R hits for 1000 plus execute.
It's only a short way. It's yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, his execute hurts. It's like 20, it's like 25% or something. Oh, it's not a percentage. It just does a certain amount more damage. Probably is a percentage. I don't know what it is. It's a lot. Basically, if someone gets stunned, they're dead. If they get hit by a Q, probably a third of their health. W's half. Nice, there we go. Sweet, there we go. We got a good Vagar game in there, so thanks again, Carlos, for the donation. Told Rocka, don't die level 2. Yeah, it was cool. I like getting that variety in there. It is nice. I don't like just playing Nami, you know, like every game. Although, I mean, I like winning. I do like Nami, but I know that people like to play other stuff too. Yeah, Blitz played really well. Okay, let me go grab a drink real quick, and then I'll be back. It's just like one moment. Oh, you mean you did stop, Della? I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Hopefully you'll play again. Randuin's Lee, maybe. You gotta stop those Ezreal crits, man, you know what I mean? Well, I switch it up when I play secondary. Jungle's been kind of interesting, and a lot of people are asking for me to play jungle recently, so... It's been pretty good. Yeah, there was one game that we tried to dodge that Rito did not let us dodge as far as games tonight. So we lost that one, but I think we're 3-1 overall.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
See what the speed test is coming up as right now. See if that music streaming was really taking up that much stuff. Well, even if the ADC builds MR, like, they're probably still gonna get walloped. Holy crap, that does not bode well with how long it's taking that website to load over there. Trying to load up the speed test website. It's going like super slow. Ow. How is there an unranked dude in here who was gold last season? No, he's played ranked. He's got ranked right here. Okay, he's plat 2. Is he just like... Wait. Oh, he's off-rolled? Is that what it is?
I decide what the tide will bring.
It's an auto-filled support. Auto-filled jungler. Glitched out Swain mid. Yeah, it's probably a dodge. Losing can be learning, but losing can also be frustrating. So, I don't know. People don't always learn off of every loss. They could, but they don't always do that. I swear to God, if I'm in this game... No, my MPS is still terrible right now. What? I'm supposed to be getting 180. You can't take a break unless you're talking to somebody else. If I'm streaming, I can't take a break. I might have to. I restart my router. My upload is great. It's just the download, which is really weird. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart it, guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on or what the deal is, but